So over the last 17 years of marketing and selling on the internet, I found that there are reasons that people fail. And in this video, I'm going to talk about 7 different reasons that people fail and what you can do to combat and get ahead of these reasons that people fail so you don't fail yourself. Hi, my name is Bryan Dulaney, top 1% of all marketers and funnel experts in the world. At least that's what Tony Robbins said about me when I placed number 5 on the biggest launch in internet history that literally broke the internet. So let's dive into these reasons people fail, because the reality is that there's people that are successful and there's people that fail. And unfortunately, the majority fail, the majority struggle. I mean, just look at ClickFunnels. Less than 1% of the entire community of over 100,000 entrepreneurs have been able to reach 7 figures in revenue collectively over time. Okay, that's not in a year, that's over time. That could be 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, however long it took them. Okay, so my goal with this video is to help you to avoid these pitfalls, these areas that can cause you to fail, can cause you to waste time, energy, and resources. The first one is that they try to do it all themselves. Okay, so this is a rookie mistake. They learn it all themselves, then they try to do it all themselves. And what happens is they end up becoming the jack of all trades, who are never really great, and they never really make an impact that's possible. Think about the jack, of all trades as it relates to the construction business, right? You've got the jack of all trades who can do everything, right? He can hammer nails, he can fix toilets, he can fix the air conditioning, he can do this, that, and the next thing. Usually that guy's driving down the street with a beat up pickup truck, right? Because he's not really focused, he's not specialized, he's not really good at one thing. He's good at everything. He's a jack of all trades. That's how a lot of our industry operates. They get into it because they saw an ad, they learned some things, that inspired them, and then now they're in this learning mode, and they're learning and they're never getting anywhere because they're trying to do it all themselves, right? And the reality is that if you want to be successful in this industry, it's not likely, unless you're a unicorn, which most people are not, that you're going to be able to do everything yourself. Branding and the video production, the editing, funnel development, the technology, the copywriting, the designing of images, you name it. There's a ton of things that go into making successful campaigns. And so doing them all yourself, running Facebook ads, running YouTube traffic, running Google ads, right? Like, you'd have to get really good at one thing and implement that one thing, and then get good at that, and then move on to the next if you're gonna figure it out to begin with. So the solution to this, and like I said in the beginning, I'm gonna give a solution to every problem. Okay, the problem is people try to do it all themselves. The solution, in order to be successful, if you want to avoid this trap that causes so many people to fail, is to understand it. Yes, I am a big proponent of gaining understanding, and that's why you're listening here in the first place, right? But gain understanding. But second, find proficient people that are the best at what they do, that have results you want, right? If you want a 7-figure business, find people that have 7-figure results and have been able to reproduce it, right? For other people outside of themselves. If you want someone that's produced 8 figures, 9 figures, whatever it is, right? You want someone who has a lifestyle business that can take off half the year and travel if they want, right? Whatever it might be, find people that are really good at their lane of expertise and hire them. In fact, I mean, shoot, look at the self-education industry. It's expected to triple to $1 billion a day by 2025. Okay, think about that. Right? Why is that? Well, I talk about that a lot, and I believe it's because people are fed up with the current system, and they're looking for people who have the results they want. And I don't think that's going to change. I think it's only going to get more. It's going to happen more and more. Okay, so the same thing I'm saying here is the same thing I want you to apply to your business, right? You get really good at one thing or 2 things. Like, you get really good at, become known for that thing that you can champion. Okay, so that's the number 1 reason that people fail. Second reason that people fail is that they hire the wrong team, or they hire inexperienced people that don't have the results that others want. And this is usually happening because people are on thin budgets, right? Or they think that, I can just outsource it to the Philippines and everything will be great, right? I don't know if you've tried that before, but everything is not great. when you outsource to the Philippines. I did that in the very early beginning stages of my career back in 2008, hired a full-time employee from the Philippines. He was great. His name was Jerson. Hopefully he's still alive. But he was awesome, but he was only good at technical things. He was only good at a few things, right? I'm not gonna hire him to write my copy. I'm not gonna hire him to run my advertising, right? Would never do that, okay? So the second reason here is hiring inexperienced people who don't have the results that you want or don't have enough results that they can showcase or they're willing to show you, right? So that's number two. The solution to that, so that you can be successful, is to find a team that has the results you want. Like I said, find a team that specializes in areas that you're not an expert in, okay? So if you're an expert in copy, writing good copy, making up hooks, creating content, awesome, right? Find someone that's really good at running Facebook ads, someone that's really good at running YouTube ads, or find an agency that has a team of people that specialize in it like us. We have an agency, Perfect Funnel System. You can hire our team and we will come in like surgeons, like neurosurgeons, and we will help you execute on a high level like we do for a lot of our campaigns and a lot of our partners, okay? So that's what I would encourage you to do. Or find people that you can bring into your organization. If you don't want to hire an agency, okay, I get that. You could find people that dedicated to your brand and then hire them to do that function, but give them skin in the game, because you're not going to find really good people if you don't incentivize them with profit performance, okay? Just think about that for a second. You're never going to be able to pay someone who's really good at what they do a flat fee, okay? Unless that flat fee is astronomically high, which you probably wouldn't want to pay anyways, right? Okay, so that's number two. The third reason that people fail is that they're not coachable, okay? So they don't listen to our advice. They think that they know best. And I'm going to give you a couple examples here, because running an agency for nearly 17 years, I run into these situations, and really I thought back to my business, and I started thinking, why do people fail, right? I started looking at patterns, right? And my goal is that everybody's successful, right? Obviously, I want everyone to be a home run. I want everyone to hit it out of the park. I want everyone to break records. But the reality is not everybody does. And so why is that the situation? Why is that the case? Well, this is a big one, not being coachable. Now, if I was to tell everybody when we start working with them, are you coachable? Of course, everyone would say, yeah, absolutely. I'm 100% coachable. That's what they all say, right? But when the rubber meets the road and your coach, like me in this example, has a suggestion to do something this way or do something that way, it's probably best that you listen to your coach. Otherwise, go find another coach, right? So here's an example, right? I coached one of my clients on running a challenge, front-end acquisition challenge, 5-day challenge, with a high-ticket application funnel. Because one of the things that we discovered over a year ago is that, even though we had a challenge that bombed, we spent more money on the front end than we made, the back-end high-ticket offer brought in a ton of business. Okay, where the conclusion of that client said, even if I have to do crappy challenges to make a lot of money, I'm going to keep doing crappy challenges. Okay, so think about that for a second. If you were that person and you ran a challenge and that's all you had, and you put a bunch of money at it and you spent $1 and you made 50 cents, you probably wouldn't be doing that for too long, right? I mean, I don't know how long would you like to spend $1 and make 50 cents, right? Not that long, right? We want to spend $1 and make $2 or $3 or $4, right? Well, my advice was, run the front end challenge, because that allows you to build your audience, it allows you to build your database, it allows you to build rapport, trust, credibility, it allows you to add value before making an offer, all of these great things. And then your high ticket application funnel can also run in the background to start attracting people who want that personalized work with you, whether it's coaching, consulting, whether it's workshop, whether it's mastermind, agency services, whatever it might be. So she didn't listen to me, this particular client didn't listen and said, I don't want to do the high ticket application funnel for X, Y, and Z reason. I only want to run the challenge. And we ended up, spending $1, making less than $1. And that brought that campaign to a screeching halt, obviously, because it's upside down. What would have solved the problem? Running the application funnel like I suggested. So please be coachable, right? When you hire consultants or coaches, be willing to receive that coaching, right? And don't think that you know best, especially if you don't have the results to back it up either, okay? Another example, another campaign was, not running warming campaign ads before pushing a lead generation campaign. So we typically will spend, 7 to 14 days out just warming up an audience, getting them used to seeing ads from a particular brand or expert. And this particular woman, she said, no, I don't want to launch ads until the day my challenge goes live. And I said, okay, well, that's going to negatively impact the results because you're not warming up your audience. She said, my audience is already warm, right? Well, obviously that was a sabotaging move on her part because she thought she knew best. She thought that she knew it. She thought she knew, right? And so she sabotaged her efforts and got in the way of producing results, right? So please be coachable. The solution to, problem number 3 is to be coachable, okay? Find people that you can allow to speak into your life and give you those critiques and that feedback to help you be successful, okay? Because that's the bottom line, right? I mean, we want to be successful, we want to make an impact, we want to change people's lives. Sometimes we need a coach, sometimes we need a mentor that's in our corner that is giving us that feedback and giving us that advice to make those pivots that we need to make. Okay. Now, secondly, after being coachable is actually taking action, right, on what you've been coached or consulted to do. Okay. So get the feedback and then pivot as you need, right? So, that's the reality of business. The reality of business is you're going to launch some campaigns and some of them are going to work and some of them are not. Okay. It doesn't mean that it's a failure. It means that you need to find ads that do work, right? So when you launch your ad campaigns, launch 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 ads, however many campaigns you can create or your team can create for you. You're going to find that only a few of them really do well. Okay? So that's why I encourage you, get as many photos as you can, right? Capture your lifestyle, capture your experiences, because that's ads, right? That's copy. Schedule 4 photo shoots a year. It'll serve you, right? So you can serve your audience. Okay. Problem number 4, the reason why people fail is they have scared money syndrome. Okay, they're afraid to lose money, right? In poker, they say scared money is dead money, and I would agree. Okay, and I see it a lot running an agency where people have to spend money, right, before they see a return. I would encourage you that if you're going to get into the game, the marketing game of online marketing and selling your expertise or selling products and services on the internet, understand the value of planting and sowing, okay? Because that principle, which is a biblical principle, applies here to advertising, okay? I have campaigns that I launched over 5 years ago that are still producing fruit, okay? Now think about that for a second. If I would have launched that campaign 2016, and if I was not still doing the same business model that I'm in, which is an agency, I would have killed the revenue of that plant, of the the seeds that I planted at that time in 2016. Okay? I still am being fed by those seeds, okay? So the solution to be successful here is to stack the deck in your favor, right? Sit down and think through how can you build out a series of offers in your value ladder that deeply serves your audience, but also allows you to make enough money where you're not nickel and diming your ad budget, right? Because if you're nickel and diming your ad budget, that's because either you are on a budget or you're afraid to spend the money because you're not sure or you're not certain that money will come back to you, okay? That's why it's vital in the beginning of launching anything. Sit down with someone, whether it's me, my team and I, or someone else, but sit down and create a game plan, okay? Throwing mud up against the wall is a bad strategy. That's why most people don't make it, okay? I wanna see you make it. I wanna see you impacting lives, and I wanna see you being handsomely paid for it, okay? So scared money syndrome, not a good strategy. All right, so please set yourself up to win so that when you go to ads, you're confident. You have confidence in your offers, you have confidence in your creative, you have confidence in your team to run those campaigns for you, and understand the long game, right? That someone that sees your ad or joins your challenge or webinar or course today might not step into your back end for the next 3, 4, 5, 6 years from now, okay? Okay, so really think about it, okay? Problem number 5, the reason why I see a lot of people fail is they have a Hail Mary mindset, okay? This is everything I got, and this 10,000 bucks, you know, this is what they say, right? This is everything I got, this 10,000 bucks need to make me $1 million tomorrow, right? That is setting yourself up for failure, okay? So please don't come into, you know, this industry thinking that this is your Hail Mary. This is the thing that's gonna save the day. This is the thing that's gonna get you out of the hole. It can, but for a lot of people it doesn't. So if you come in with a Hail Mary mindset, which I've seen, it doesn't usually end well, okay? Understand that your front end really is to acquire customers, right? Your front end might be a book, a challenge, a webinar, a course, right? It's typically gonna be a webinar or challenge to a course, right? Or a book funnel, right? But your front end is really to recoup the investment that you pushed out, right? If I have a $1,000 course, I anticipate I'm gonna need to spend $200 to $400 to acquire a buyer. That's just the reality of my business, right? But what if it cost $1,000 to acquire a buyer? What if I spent $1 and made $1? I'd actually be okay with that. My competitors wouldn't, because a lot of my competitors don't have deeper levels of service as we do. They don't have profit share partnerships where they can make over $1 million per partnership. We do, right? So they're nickel and diming the front end because they need that dollar to make 10. Right? It's really just a bad mindset to have. I had a partner back in 2014. We launched a Facebook ad campaign to a course and a webinar. We literally spent $5 grand in ads, made 20 grand, and they weren't happy. And then we spent another $5 grand and we ended up making a total of 80 grand. So 10 grand in, 80 grand out. I don't know about you, but that's a pretty good return on investment. Now, why they weren't happy is because they thought that $5 grand was gonna make 100,000 bucks, right? So they had unrealistic expectations because of a crappy situation they were in. They had, you know, they had something bad go in their other business, and they were trying to use the information business to front load the cash for their physical product business because one of their supply chains broke down, and all the orders that they charged were no longer going out. It was a big mess. They were $500,000 in the hole. So they were playing the Hail Mary approach, right? And I need to do the online game so I can make a ton of cash and pay off this debt, right? That is not a good mindset, okay? The solution here is to think longer and understand that you need to invest to grow your brand, to grow your audience, to add value in advance, to make great offers that helps people get the results that they want and helps them go where they're looking to go, right? And that's what this industry is about. That's what this is all about at the end of the day. Okay, problem number 6, and reason why people fail is that they stop too early in the optimization process. Okay, here's an example. Running an ad campaign, spending less than 10 grand in 6 weeks, right? Or a week. Think about that for a second. Imagine spending, you know, a couple $100. Be like, it doesn't work, right? If you stop early, you can guarantee that you will fail. It takes time to optimize and improve campaigns, and that's the bottom line, okay? Some campaigns crush it right out of the gate. Like we have campaigns like that have done that. 10 million in 7 months, 10 million in 6 months, 8.3 million in a week. We've got all types of stories like that, but then we also have stories where, you know, people are upside down when they launch a challenge or webinar, right? It takes optimization to get to the place, sometimes, where you're super successful. And that, I would say, takes more people out of the game than most, is sticking around long enough to make the adjustments and pivots that are needed to be successful. So the solution here, commit to the process and give yourself 6 to 12 months to optimize, get feedback, make adjustments and improve your copy, your videos, your funnels, your offers, and everything, right? Understand that if you're an entrepreneur, you're gonna have to pivot. Understand that if you're an entrepreneur in this world of online marketing, you're gonna have to test creative, and you're gonna have to test a lot of it. And 1 out of 100 might stick, right? If you're good, 1 out of 10 might stick, 1 out of 20 might stick, right? But understand that just because 90 don't stick and 10 do, that it's not, you just need to kill the 90 that don't and keep the 10 that do and keep on keeping on. Most people take themselves out too fast. Okay, please be someone that sticks around, that stays in it, that's in for the long haul, that has a bigger vision than 2 months. Please, do yourself a favor. If you're gonna do this, think longer, think bigger. Okay, problem number 7, final problem that I see take more people out, is they rush product development. They rush campaigns. They don't spend an adequate amount of time producing great programs and offers and content and videos, and they just throw mud up against the wall. Okay, and this is typically not a good strategy. Okay, half-baked doesn't always turn out to be great, right? Try baking a cake in the oven for 15 minutes instead of 30. You're probably not gonna like that runny, sloppy cake that's on your plate, right? Okay, well, what do you think happens when you do that to your business? Okay, so solution here is spend an adequate amount of time, energy, and attention creating great webinars and challenges and books and courses and podcasts and videos and ads. Spend time, okay? And find a team of people that can help you, right? Because it shouldn't just be you that's the one creating it all, right? Create leverage in your life, right? Create leverage to allow yourself to not have all the burden on your shoulders, right? But you're gonna have to, bear most of it because you're the expert. You're the expert. You have the knowledge, you have the expertise, you have the wisdom, right? So please, whatever you do, don't rush it. Don't throw mud up against the wall. Don't be another statistic of people who fail and move to the next shiny ship, okay? If you have an expertise, you're good at what you do, you have results others want, and you have helped a handful at least of more people that, that you've helped, then you owe it to the world to serve more people. You owe it to the world to create great products and great programs, okay? What we need in the marketplace is great products, okay? We don't need more crappy products that give the industry a bad name because someone threw something up against the wall and it didn't stick, okay? So listen, if you'd like to hire the top 1% of all marketers and funnel experts in the world according to Tony Robbins and give yourself the best shot at success, I'd encourage you to go to perfectfunnelsystem.com and request a quote. It's free, okay? You can schedule a call with my team. It's the entire team that allows us to be the top 1% of all marketers and funnel experts in the world. I didn't do it all myself. It's not about what or how, but rather who is in your corner, who's helping you. And I can say that, I didn't get to where I'm at because of just me. It's because of the great team that we have behind me that allows us to win more campaigns and more awards than nearly anyone in the entire ClickFunnels community, and we're gonna keep winning because that's what we do. So again, if you don't wanna do it yourself, if you realize that that's a surefire path to failure, and you wanna align yourself with the best of the best, people that understand this, that live, eat, and breathe it, go to perfectfunnelsystem.com, request a quote, it's free, and then schedule a call with my team and see how we can work together, see how we can help. But we would love to help you. We'd love to help you, launch your expertise, scale your impact, and build your legacy. Again, perfectfunnelsystem.com, and we would love to help you.